Welcome to the Church Educational System Parent and Leader Livestream. We are delighted to have you here with us. I'm Todd Hollingshead and I will be your host. Tonight's event will introduce you to the Church Educational System, also called CES, and provide you with resources that can empower you to help your youth with higher education goals. Coming up, an admissions expert from each institution will join us to answer some of their most commonly asked questions. But first, here's a deeper look at each of our CES institutions.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for your interest in the Church Educational System. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sponsors 4 campuses of higher learning: BYU, BYU Hawaii, BYU Idaho, and Ensign College. It also operates over 370 institutes of religion near other university campuses and Pathway online learning. This presentation will answer the most common questions we get from students applying to a CES school. Each CES campus offers different advantages to students. However, they all share some core characteristics. They each have a temple easily accessible to students. A true example of higher learning. Students at each campus are enriched by weekly devotionals where church leaders and faculty inspire and instruct. Central to students' experience are religion classes, but it's not uncommon for classes in science, math, and other topics to begin with prayer. All campuses have young single adult wards where students can attend church and hold callings. These wards provide a lot of opportunity for spiritual growth, service, and social activities. Faculty and students at all CES campuses live by an honor code. This includes high moral standards in academic conduct, residential living, and dress and grooming. And all 4 campuses grant a deferment for students who are admitted but want to serve a mission. Each CES campus is a dynamic place to learn and grow, not only academically, but spiritually. We hope this presentation will help you in deciding which schools you should apply to.
First up is our flagship institution, Brigham Young University. I'm here with Chad Johnson, Director of Admissions. Well, welcome, Chad. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Let's start with an overview of BYU. Help me understand why BYU is a good option.
Yeah, and first of all, thanks for letting me be here. I appreciate it and talk about BYU. So what makes BYU unique is really this dual heritage of by studying by faith, right? It's taking academic components that you would get from a university anywhere else and combining it with the spiritual side, helping people become disciples of Jesus Christ. Right? So talking about the academic side, we have highly ranked programs with highly educated professors. These programs are helping students to go on to graduate programs, some of the top graduate programs across the world, right? In addition to helping them get jobs in government, in some of the highest places in corporate America, starting their own businesses, all sorts of things, okay? So that's this academic side. But on the other side, this spiritual side, we also have these weekly devotionals, just like every other CES institution. This opportunity to step aside and spend time purely focusing and hearing speakers talk about their experience with the gospel, about becoming a better disciple of Jesus Christ. And incredible speakers. I mean, everything from professors to administrators to quorum of the 12 apostles, right? Come and speak. So you have that, and praying in class, and also many opportunities for professors who talk about their experience. What are you learning? So for example, say you're in a biology class. Yes, you're learning biology, but this professor is going to help you understand how does that fit into the gospel of Jesus Christ, the plan of salvation, things like that. And so it's this really beautiful merging of these two pieces, this study by learning or study by faith and this academic side, right?
Yeah, so when you say dual heritage, we really mean that here at BYU, right? The 2 components work together.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, it's really fun. I mean, this is a really fun place to be a student. I mean, first of all, talking about the athletics, we compete at the highest level, Division I. Our athletes go on and they compete in championships and win championships, but they also compete at the highest echelons of their sport, whether that's the Olympics or whatever that might be. And we get to participate in that, as students and staff and everyone else. But in addition to that, you also have clubs, and you have performing arts, and you have service projects, and just so many ways to get involved. It really is a fun place to be a student.
Great. So all of that makes this incredible overview of what BYU is. It's by study, it's by faith, and also having that experience of being able to do extracurriculars, whether it's going to a game, a concert, or playing in an intramural game. So Chad, I know a lot of parents, when they think about BYU, they think about sending their kid off to college. And Utah is a faraway place for a lot of those families. So what are some resources that are here at BYU to help make that transition easier for the students and for their parents?
Yeah, this is a really common question. In fact, 65% of our student body here is from out of state, right? So yeah, that totally makes sense. You know, you're sending your student away often for the first time, and you want to make sure they're taken care of. And so for any student, whether from in-state or out of state, there are lots of resources. In fact, there's never going to be a place like this again in their life, a place completely dedicated to helping them to be successful, right? So every aspect of their life. So we have everything from, you know, having a peer mentor that they get assigned as soon as they come that, you know, is a person that helps them to navigate college life, helps them to find a building, their class, professors, study habits, all of that stuff, right? To this really great class that we just started off called the Univ 101 class, which essentially is a class that you get paired up with other students to do assignments that help you to get to know one another, you know, get to know the university, things like that. In addition to all of that, you know, you have tutoring, you have first year experience, you have amazing professors that are there to mentor and help these students have a great experience. And then on top of all of that, again, another unique component of BYU is that you're coming here and you're going to be a part of a student board. Okay, so you'll have a bishopric and the leadership and activities and all these other peers that, and everything else that comes along with that to be able to surround the student and help them feel really welcome and taken care of. So yeah, this is going to be a place that they're going to be supported, taken care of, and to be successful. That's our whole goal.
So the environment really does provide so many places where students can find connection, whether that's in a class, in their student ward, or maybe just in extracurricular activities.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose, for sure.
Okay, Chad, let's shift gears a little bit. Yeah. When you're looking at a potential student in their application, what are some things you're looking for in that student?
Yeah. So BYU, our admissions process is something called a holistic process, which essentially means that we're trying to look at many aspects of a student, right? Not just their academics or something, but really the whole aspect of what makes a student. And we want to see how that student aligns with the mission and aims of BYU, right? Are they going to fit in? Are they going to be successful here? And when I'm talking about the mission and aims, specifically I'm talking about four things. The aims of a BYU education are, number one, spiritually strengthening. We hope that the education is spiritually strengthening. Number two, that it's intellectually enlarging. Number three, that it's character building. And number four, that leads to lifelong service and learning, okay? So for those four things, when we're looking at this holistic review, we're looking at everything from how do they do in their academics, to their essays and their activity question responses, to the recommendations they get from people who know them best, to how they participated in Seminary and Institute. So we review all of that, and then again, we try to see how does that student connect? How are they going to fit into BYU, and are they going to be successful here? That's what we look for. So a student can really do what they need to be able to prepare right now and make that happen.
So you're saying in that review of applications, you really are trying to look at the full student,
Yeah.
that full prospective student, and whether they are a fit at BYU.
Exactly, yeah. And that's ultimately the whole point of the entire process, is to see that holistic student, how they're going to fit in here.
So where can students and their parents go to find more information as they're interested in applying to BYU?
Yeah, good question. So I would point students to admissions.byu.edu. That's the best place. Everything I've talked about here, they can find on that website. We keep it updated with all of the most relevant information, how to prepare. In addition, that's also a place they can go if they want to reach out to us, we're happy to do that. I wish that's something that I knew when I was preparing for college, is that there are people that their whole job is to help you in this process, and we're happy to do that. So admissions.byu.edu, lots of information there. Reach out to us, happy to chat.
Great. That's so helpful, because I know everyone has questions, and sometimes they don't have them in the moment where they're with someone, but if they can go and find that resource and ask them on their own time frame, it can really help them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chad. I hope our viewers will take advantage of all those resources you outlined.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks again for having me.
Now we would love to hear more about our teaching-focused institution, BYU Idaho. And we have with us today their admissions outreach manager, Natalie Gay. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. So let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about Rexburg and the community around BYU Idaho.
Oh, I would love to. So Rexburg is a very small, faith-based, safe community which fits perfectly with BYU Idaho's mission of developing disciple leaders of Jesus Christ. But it's really fun. We have over 3,000 campus activities for the students, everything from students playing game nights, Dungeons and Dragons, to intramural sports, to theater and drama. And then off campus, we live in an amazing part of the world. We have Grand Teton National Park within about 2 hours, Yellowstone National Park, the Snake River whitewater rafting. We have mountain biking, horseback riding, so many fun things, but that's kind of all the fun stuff. Then we have the Christ-centered part of BYU Idaho that is really what we like to focus on. We have the temple right across the street from BYU Idaho, and about half of the temple workers are BYU Idaho students, which, you know, that influences the whole BYU Idaho environment. It helps BYU Idaho in its mission, again, to be very Christ-centered and have those students bring Christ in. One super cool thing that we love to point out, pretty soon we'll be the only place in the world that has two temples on the same street. We'll have the Rexburg Temple, and then down the street we'll have the Teton River Temple. So that makes BYU Idaho and Rexburg pretty unique.
Yeah, that's incredible. And having visited Rexburg, I felt that sense of community there, and when the students get there, they just become a part of that, right?
They do, and because it's a smaller campus, we're able to really just embrace all the students and help them embrace their surroundings. A lot of the student activities that they can do, a lot of the students have never gone snowboarding or cross-country skied or whitewater rafted before, but we have student activities that help them experience their environment.
So one of the things that we know about BYU Idaho is it has kind of a unique calendar. Can you tell me more about the 3-track system?
So the 3 tracks are fall, which is from September to December, winter, which is from January to the middle of April, and then spring, which is the end of April to July, because spring in Rexburg is in July.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so a student would be assigned 2 of those 3 tracks generally. Is that how that works?
Correct. Students, when they're admitted, they're assigned 2 of the 3 tracks. And then, like I said, they can utilize their flex track or their unassigned track to do something else or to stay on campus. We had a student who worked in our office that utilized every track, and she just took classes and was able to graduate in over 3 years instead of taking the traditional 4 years to get her bachelor's degree.
Okay, so it really does offer a lot of flexibility.
It does lots of flexibility and lots of opportunities that they wouldn't have at a traditional university.
Great. Okay, so Natalie, I've heard that BYU Idaho is a very teaching-focused institution. Can you explain to me what does that mean for students?
Oh, for the students at BYU Idaho, this means that the teachers who choose to teach at BYU Idaho choose because they want to focus on teaching and not so much on research. Our teachers usually come from industry, so they come with experience that they then share as they're mentoring the students and teaching them. The teachers also, like I said, because they're focused on their teaching, it gives them more time for the mentoring part. And that is not only the academic mentoring, but that is mentoring the students as they progress in their life goals as well as in their spirituality.
Okay, Natalie, we've talked a lot about the environment at BYU Idaho and the student experience. And now a little bit of a different question on things that might be on the top of our parents' minds. Tell me about scholarships that might be available. Tell me a little bit about the tuition that students will be looking at.
Sure, and this really is on a lot of parents' minds. Oftentimes the students are not forward thinking about the money, but the parents, usually parents and leaders they know that this is important. But BYU Idaho is one of the best value colleges in the nation. Our tuition is an amazing value, but on top of that, we offer lots of scholarships. Probably one of our best scholarships is the Merit Scholarship. That is a scholarship that is automatically awarded based on high school GPA and ACT or SAT scores. And then if it's a transfer student, we look at the transfer GPAs. But that one, once again, it's automatically awarded. We also have need-based scholarships, We also have talent scholarships, and then of course the students can use the government grants such as Pell Grants as well. One of our newest scholarships, and I love telling about this one, it's our Return Missionary Scholarship. So the first semester back, return missionaries automatically get a scholarship, helping them get back into school. But in addition to the scholarships, we talked about the good value of the tuition. You put those two things together, and BYU Idaho really is an amazing value. In fact, about 2/3 of our students graduate from BYU Idaho without any debt. And if you look at today's graduation and the students and how much debt they have, that really is miraculous. We can see the Lord's hand in those scholarships and the ability of our students to graduate and be able to just start off in their careers with no debt. It's nothing short of a miracle, really.
That's great, because students and parents, they just need that information, so to have it so clear and upfront is a great blessing for them as they're going through that process.
It is, and of course we have the information available on the website, byui.edu, and you can search for scholarships or you can search for admissions requirements, but that's the facts of it. We encourage students use the facts, but then use the Spirit as you study it out in your mind, and then act, as we learned in the scriptures. It's the same for applications to colleges.
Great. Thank you, Natalie. Great insights into BYU Idaho and just how affordable it is. I hope the viewers can really see the opportunities that are available to our students that go there and how much fun there is in that environment.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now we'd love to hear more about BYU Hawaii, our institution focused on blessing the lives of those in the Asia and Pacific areas. Let's welcome with us Amber Stevenson, an admissions officer from BYU Hawaii. Amber, good to have you in.
Aloha.
So let's just jump in. For students that are considering BYU Hawaii, what is BYU Hawaii looking for in a student?
Yeah, so BYU Hawaii has a really specific mission, and that is to build Asia and the Pacific. Asia and the Pacific has always been a part of our mission, and so we are looking for students who have the intent to live and lead in Asia and the Pacific. And we're also looking for lifelong disciples, so when we're going through applications, we're looking for patterns of discipleship, things like seminary, service, just evidence that they're ready to come to BYU Hawaii and to serve and to show us their leadership skills.
Okay, so it sounds like BYU Hawaii's mission is very clear, like it's for a very specific student that brings some things with them.
Yes, when you think of BYU Hawaii, you should think of 4 words: live, lead, Asia, and the Pacific.
Okay.
At BYU Hawaii, all of our career placement efforts, all of our internships, our career fairs, even our programs are all directed towards Asia and the Pacific, and pretty much the question is what would serve these areas the most. And so we are definitely looking for students who have the intent to go back to Asia and the Pacific and to serve their communities and contribute meaningfully to leadership in the church and in their country.
Okay, so they're not just coming to learn in their field of study, but really they're preparing to go back and serve.
Yes, yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Okay, Amber, a question I know that comes up a lot is for students who are interested, what are their chances if they don't come from Oceania or the Asian Rim?
Yeah, we get that question a lot at BYU Hawaii admissions, and when I get that question from a student, I usually tend to kind of ping pong that question back with my question, which is, do you align with the mission of BYU Hawaii to live and lead in Asia and the Pacific specifically? And does this align with their goals, right? Yeah. About 26% of our students right now are domestic students from the continental US. And with our domestic students, we are still looking for those who have meaningful ties to this area of the world. And this can come through being a return missionary from Asia or the Pacific. They already serve that people, so they know them. If they have previously lived in that portion of the world or have other meaningful ties. And ultimately, we're looking for students who plan to have a future in Asia and the Pacific. They want to build a career there, contribute meaningfully to church leadership, build a family there. Like that's the ideal students that we're looking for.
Okay, so a student that may not be from that area, their chances are really going to be connected to their connection to that area, their future potentially in that area. Okay, Amber, you've answered some important questions. Let's get into some details. Tell us a little bit about the cost of attendance for BYU Hawaii.
All right, so that's usually a number one concern when moving to Hawaii is the cost. Our tuition right now for one semester is $3,315, and housing and a meal plan are around that exact same number, around $3,317. And all freshmen are required to live in our dorm-style housing, or we call them hales. And because the dorm style doesn't have a kitchen, they have to have a meal plan. So they can anticipate around $3,317 for that. And for the entire year, which is fall, winter, and spring, they can anticipate paying $22,000 to $33,000 for the whole year.
Okay, that's really helpful information. I know a lot of parents just need to know, like, what are the numbers so that we can see if this is going to work. Great. Now, along those lines, we're talking about the financial aspects. Tell me a little bit about scholarship opportunities.
All right. So as far as scholarship opportunities for our freshman semester, a lot of our scholarships come after that freshman semester. So we have something called the Dean's List, which is based on GPA. So if you can maintain above a 3.75 cumulative GPA, you get a $500 scholarship every semester. So that helps a lot. We also have departmental scholarships. So if you're in the business department or communications department, they tend to award their students who apply for those scholarships. So we always encourage those. But one scholarship that is offered to freshmen coming straight into BYU Hawaii is the Return Missionary Voucher. So if you have served in our area, which is Asia, the Pacific, you get a full tuition. Your first semester is full tuition.
Okay. And so how does the student that's coming in access that information or make sure they're taking the right steps?
Yes, it's super easy. They can just go to BYUH-scholarships, and we have them all outlined there.
You've provided so much great information. Let's change gears a little bit. Tell us about extracurricular activities at BYU Hawaii.
All right, there's so much to do at BYU Hawaii. We have Seasider activities, which includes events like dances and formals. We also have things like movie night that happens fairly often. We have intramural sports, which is our Seasider sports. So all the usual sports, basketball, soccer, volleyball, but we also have more coming up like pickleball. We have cricket that's getting more popular.
Fun.
If you can think of it and you can get a team together, you can make an intramural sport for it.
Grab your roommates, grab your friends, and sign up, right?
Totally.
Okay.
We also have our bigger events like Culture Night, and that is when all our cultural clubs come together. And you can participate in another culture's club throughout the entire semester and then perform over 2 nights. And that's the biggest event at BYU Hawaii. Everyone really gets into it, and you learn a lot from your friends and your roommates from different places. We also have something called Food Fest, which is a similar kind of vibe. And people from all their different cultures bring their food together, and you get to try all this international food, and it's so good.
Okay, so that sounds like there's plenty to do all the time. I know the temple is right next door. Tell me a little bit about service opportunities.
Oh yeah, so our students are so active in the temple. The temple is 2 minutes away, so that helps. But we're really proud of our students lately because we have the biggest number of temple workers in BYU Hawaii history serving in the temple right now. So other service opportunities include like beach cleanups, any kind of like environmental service. Hawaii is really big on the environment, so we're always trying to clean up our hikes, our beaches, and serve that way as well.
Great. So if you're into sports, if you want to do something culture related, if you want to do some service throughout the year, there's lots of opportunities.
Heaps of opportunities.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you, Amber. Those are great answers to the questions that so many parents have. I hope our viewers will have an opportunity to see how BYU Hawaii blesses the lives of thousands of students in the Asia and Pacific Rim. Next up, we'll get to hear more about Ensign College, our institution focused on an applied curriculum. And here we'll have Leslie Longi. Okay, Leslie, my first question for you is, how does Ensign College help students who are balancing a lot of things in life, their family, other obligations, perhaps other places where they're working? How do they find that balance, and what do you do to help them?
Yeah, so with Ensign College, we understand who our student population is. We want to make sure that we make things as flexible as we can. Some of the things that we've done for that has been converting to 7-week blocks. This allows our students to start when they're ready. They might not be ready at the beginning of a traditional semester, maybe it's in the middle of the semester. So we've converted to the 7-week block. We've also made things more flexible with adding more online classes and also evening classes. A lot of our students are working, and so they're able to get off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and come to the campus and take an evening class there. Some of them aren't able to make it to campus, and so we do online courses for them. We try to understand who our students are, what their needs are, and try to build things to make it more flexible for them.
Okay, for someone who's not familiar with what a 7-week block is, just give me a quick refresher on that.
Yeah, so traditionally, your semesters are going to be 14 to 15 weeks. What we've done, understanding that usually around the 10th week, you've got burnout. And so what we've done is we've converted our curriculum to 7 weeks. So you will start at the beginning of the semester or the first block. You'll be in classes for 7 weeks, and then you'll take a break, and then you'll start your second block. And that'll be your total semester, but we've broken it up into 2 blocks.
Okay, so really you're trying to be more flexible for your student body who has so many things they're balancing.
Absolutely, trying to always keep our students in mind whenever we are making changes, such as the blocks or when we're offering classes.
Okay. So here's a question I think is probably going to be on a lot of people's minds. What are some financial aid or scholarship opportunities for your students, especially those who may think that college is not in their plans or maybe out of reach for them?
Yeah, so as we know, nationwide, everyone knows that going to college is expensive and it's going to cost money. However, at Ensign College, we are one of the most affordable within the state, and we love saying that, especially with the way that the church has invested in our students and offering different scholarships. Some of them that we offer would be like the Return Missionary Scholarship. They're coming off of their mission, they're ready to go back to school. So with that, it'd be like a $500 scholarship for the first semester, and then we do another $500 for their next semester. We also are thoughtful when it comes to our single parents. Our single parents want to come back to school. They want to find ways to help their families and move them forward. And so our single parent scholarship covers 120% of their tuition. We understand that they need an additional support with any finances or expenses that they might get as they enroll in school. Another one would be the Ambassador Scholarship, which is one of my favorite ones. And this is where students get to come to Ensign College, help us go recruit or help us with activities on campus, and that covers their full tuition. And then there's our First Generation Scholarship, which is great for our students. It gives them $1,000 for a semester, and then they can also get another scholarship if they enroll in a consecutive semester. So we do find different ways and different fundings, scholarships, so then that way we can help our students pay for schooling, knowing that one of their concerns coming back to school or starting school is how they're going to pay for college.
So the message really is there are a lot of ways we can help you get into school if you want to be here.
There is, and we have our staff in our scholarships office that is ready and willing to help you find different ways to pay for school.
Oh, that's great. That's really helpful information for people. This is a question I think that's going to be on a lot of your students' minds, and probably already is, but how does Ensign College prepare students with practical skills that they can use right away in their careers?
Oh, this is a great question. So the structure that we have at Ensign College is our faculty, we call them practitioner faculty, meaning that they are adjunct faculty with us, but their main job is going to be in the field that they're actually teaching in. So we have our medical assistants that are actually teaching medical assisting at Ensign College, our business professionals. They come to Ensign College with current relevant knowledge and current practices. So then that way our students are confident in the skills that they are building. At Ensign College, our mission statement is that we are here to develop capable and trusted disciples of Jesus Christ. We also want to make sure that we are developing capable and trusted workers in the workplace. And so we want to make sure that we give them relevant skills, and having our practitioner faculty teaching them that helps build their confidence.
Leslie, can you walk us through the admissions process and how it's maybe a little bit different and how it's easy for anyone that's interested to apply at Ensign College?
Yeah, so our application process, any application process can be daunting, and we want to make sure it's as easy and seamless as possible. And so it's actually located online. It should take about 10 minutes to fill out. with our application process, you'll still go through your regular ecclesiastical endorsement, high school requirement, and then also we want to make sure that because of our 7-week blocks, you're able to submit your application a week before the actual semester starts. And so still being flexible and still being making this application process as easy as possible. There's also no longer a application fee, and then we also don't require an essay anymore. And so it should take about 10 minutes to fill out the application, and then from there our admissions team will be in contact with you to get you started on your next steps.
Okay, so it sounds like there may be a few items there that could be a barrier for some applicants, or maybe something that would cause a little concern, and you're really trying to help them apply in the easiest way possible and just say, hey, this is a great option, and hopefully we help you get here and really consider us.
Yeah, definitely. And our staff is always ready to answer any calls, or if you want to stop into our offices, we're wanting to make sure that the application process is super simple for you.
Okay. Yeah, 10 minutes sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now we'll have the chance to hear more about BYU Pathway Worldwide, our access provider focused on blessing the lives of those around the world interested in completing certificates and online degrees. Please welcome Zach Batty, BYU Pathway Manager, to join us now. Welcome, Zach. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Let's dive right in. Tell me, who is BYU Pathway for?
I get that question a lot. At BYU Pathway, we have a unique commission to serve the hidden many. And who we mean by that is there are a lot of people out there for whom the traditional on-campus 4-year college experience just doesn't work. Maybe they can't leave their family for that long. Maybe they can't afford that. Maybe their whole life they've been told that college isn't for them. They're not college material. So our goal is to lower the barriers to entry for those individuals. We don't require an entrance exam, no ACT or SAT. We actually don't even require a GED. And in the beginning, we don't require an ecclesiastical endorsement. A big theory behind that is come and see. Come and see what it's like to invite Christ into your educational experience. Come and study with us. Come and learn with us. Come and pray with us. And see how higher education can help benefit you and bless you. Come and learn that you are college material, whether you didn't do so well in high school or it's been 30 years since you've been to school. This is for you, and you can succeed here.
So you really mean it when you say it's for everyone?
Yeah, it really is for everyone.
Zach, tell me, what are some obstacles that BYU Pathway students might face?
Well, some of the obstacles that we try to remove include really a financial obstacle and a timeline obstacle. A lot of our students don't feel like they can invest 4 years of time and energy before they start getting returns on that. And so what we've done is we've created a certificate-first 3-year curriculum. What that does is a student chooses 3 certificates that build on each other to get an associate's degree and then a bachelor's degree. So your first 6 months, you're going to take classes that really help set you up for success in your educational journey. After that, you're going to spend 6 months and get your first certificate. So within 1 year, you've earned a business-ready, marketable certificate that you can take to your current employer or future employer and improve your employment situation. Fast forward a year, you've earned your second certificate, some general education courses, and now you've got your associate's degree. Fast forward a year after that, you've got your third certificate, you finish out your generals, and now you have a fully accredited bachelor's degree in 3 years. So it's pretty astounding. In addition to that, a lot of our students might not yet speak English at a college level, so we have the English Connect program. And what that does is, no matter where you are, it's in 3 levels, so no matter where you are in your English-speaking journey, we can take you from there to a college degree. So it's a really great program for that.
Okay, and I'm guessing the goal for every student is to go down that path and do that full 3 years.
Sure, that's certainly our goal. Now, if that's not the student's goal, that's okay. If you just want some certificates, great. If you just want that associate's, great. If you just want to polish your English to get it to a collegiate level, that's fantastic too. But yeah, ultimately we hope that everyone chooses to get a bachelor's degree.
Zach, you gave us a good feel for the program and the time commitment here, but what about the cost?
Sure, fair question. Right now, we charge $83 per credit. And depending on the degree that you choose, your cost is going to be around $6,500 for that entire degree. but that doesn't include some very generous scholarships and discounts. For example, right now we have the Heber J. Grant Scholarship, and that is available to everyone who applies. Everyone who applies gets at least a 15% discount, and then based on your needs, you can get up to a 50% discount. On top of that, we have the Return Missionary Scholarship. What that is if you return from your mission within 5 years, you get an additional 25% off. And these stack on top of each other. And there are other discounts available.
Okay.
Yeah, so really what you're looking at is for an entire degree, depending on what discounts and scholarships you get, you're looking at anywhere from $1,600 to $5,600, again, for a fully accredited bachelor's degree.
It's incredible.
It's pretty astounding. We really hope that money should not be the inhibitor to get higher education. We can overcome that obstacle.
If there is a student that still feels like cost is a burden, even if they know all those things, where should they start?
Great question. Really, just go to byupathway.edu and start the application process. We can talk about finances, we can talk about degrees, and we can work with you. We absolutely want to work with everyone.
Zach, it's been so helpful to hear about the format and the cost and things that students really need to know as they're considering BYU Pathway. But it is a remote program, is that correct?
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. It is 100% online and remote. You'll never need to leave your home.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure we clarify that.
Yep.
Great. Zach, thank you so much. It's been a great look for us into BYU Pathway Worldwide. Really, it's a blessing to so many lives, and for so many people that previously did not have opportunity for higher education, BYU Pathway is a great option. Our final institution in CES is the church's spiritual anchor, focused on teaching our youth and young adults about our Savior Jesus Christ and becoming lifelong disciples. We welcome Ben Lotz to tell us more about Seminaries and Institute. Well, welcome, Ben. It's great to have you here. Let's dive right in. I know there's been a lot of growth in Institute over the last 5 years. Tell us about that. How has that come to be? And just give me a little more detail.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. It's good to be here. So we've gone up, as you know, by 160,000 students in the last 5 years and have now reached 450,000 students worldwide. A lot of that is young adults want to feel loved by God, and they're feeling that at Institute. Now, Innovate Institute is a part of that as well. Young adults have told us what they want, and we're trying to meet those needs. They've told us, one, we want a connection to Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father. Two, we want the experiences we have to be relevant. We want to have discussions and have our questions answered and have it be relevant to our lives. We also want a sense of belonging in a Christ-centered community, and we want access to all of this as much as possible. And so those are some of the things that we've changed to have that growth.
Great. Really trying to provide programs that meet people where they're at and help them have that incredible experience.
Absolutely.
Ben, tell me who has access to these Institute classes? And a follow-up to that is, do you have to attend a church school to be able to attend those classes?
Yeah, great question, Todd. Now, Institute is accessible to every young adult. So whether you're a working professional, you're a college student, or anywhere in between that, Institute is available for you. And we hope that these classes and connections can help you in your life. And they're available next to universities all over the place, but then also at stake and ward buildings and even online. As far as if you go to a church school, how that works, if you don't go to a church school, we hope that you'll make Institute a priority in your life. It has the same religious outcomes as attending a church school if you'll commit to going to Institute regularly.
Great. So really, we're trying to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to attend if they have interest in being involved in Institute classes.
Absolutely.
Ben, thank you for answering a couple of my questions and helping us get a better sense for Institute and the blessing it is for those who can be involved in it. I will say that there is someone else that is also very supportive of Institute classes and the Institute program. Let's take a moment to listen to our beloved prophet, President Russell M. Nelson, as he details some of the blessings and promises that come from Institute.
May I invite you to do something that will help you in a way few other things can. Attend Institute to deepen your conversion to Jesus Christ. Attending Institute will help you to feel more of Heavenly Father's great love for you. Institute will offer you inspiring instructors, faithful friends, and a feeling of belonging. It will help you to see why living the gospel leads to never-ending happiness. I promise you these blessings and express my love for you. In the sacred name of Jesus Christ, amen.
We hope that you've enjoyed this time with us and that you've learned some things to help your youth. There are a couple of websites we highly recommend you become familiar with and share with the youth you interact with. Here are those links. ces.churchofjesuschrist.org will help you learn more about CES and find this video to reference back to. And cesinfo.byu.edu will help you sign up to receive information from each of the institutions within CES that you're interested in getting more information from. As always, we are proud and honored to share all of these inspired pieces of the church educational system. We hope you see the divine design in them, and even more so, we hope you see the Lord's design in your life. Thank you for letting us share why we love CES, where there is a place for everyone.